What's up? This is your boy Super, and I'm playing Kerbal Space Program. In the last episode, we were trying to go from um, Kerbin's orbit, which is the Earth, to the Mun's orbit, which is the Moon. And we ran into a couple problems. I don't remember the details, but we couldn't. We plotted the course, but we couldn't switch from orbit to the course. And I figured out how to do that after I finished recording, though. Is you I couldn't figure out how to start the burn. I thought I'd do it automatically, but in the most, I feel like stupid, but to start the burn, you gotta put the throttle up. Duh. But, so we can do that real quick, I guess. It's not gonna take very long. But the next mission's also about orbiting, so might as well condense them into one video. Alright. Like 10 years ago or so, I used to do YouTube, but I didn't remember it. I completely forgot about it until like this year or last year. It's really weird having like deja vu where you forget like large chunks of your life. I think I did Minecraft and I did like random games, like indie games. Okay, we've already read this in the last episode, so go to map view, click anywhere on the orbit path, and choose add maneuver. So we've got this far. I'll tell you where we got stuck in the last episode. Add maneuver. Next. Uh, oh, we gotta find the mun. There we go. Stretch it out a little bit. Now we gotta turn it the opposite direction. We can stretch it out again. Now we gotta turn it until we reach the one sphere of influence. See, we're on its orbital path right now. We separate apoapsis on its orbital path and then turn it until we reach its sphere of influence. It'll show us. There, we reached its sphere of influence. Now we can choose the exact spot we intercepted at by fine-tuning it with smaller adjustments. Well, now we can move on to the next option. Okay, plan the maneuver. You will enter the one sphere of influence. Bring up your nav ball. It's already up. We've got to change to the blue marker on the nav ball. Okay, we got to get out of that menu. Looks like we got 57 minutes until we got to turn on the thrusters. That wasn't explained very well, but I was gonna say this is an indie company, but it's not. This has been a large company for like 10 years now. Okay, we're lined up. Oh, we were lined up. There, we are lined up. Okay. So now we gotta warp to the beginning of to start our maneuver. Where does that leave at? Right here on our maneuver line is where we gotta warp to. So our maneuver line is the yellow one, I believe. And warp to next maneuver. Now we gotta do a burn at about 40 seconds. Alright. Well, now we're probably gonna have to line up again, dang it. So we got 7 minutes till we reach the node. And we gotta start burning like 40 seconds before the node. Time warp is complete. We got 55 seconds. Start burning at about T minus 40 seconds. So down there where it says in the middle of the screen, it says in green text, burn time 1 minute 10 seconds. That's how long we have to burn right now. And that's how you burn. Turn the throttle up. Now when the burn time gets down to 0, we put the throttle down. And we could probably make sure we're lined up with the blue. There we go. Now we should be all set. When we reach the sphere of influence of the moon, we've got to do another burn. And after I finished recording and did this, that's where I messed up at, was the second maneuver. Alright, 15 seconds of burn left. 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Good work, but you may have noticed your actual orbit is not exactly the one you had planned. This is because real burns are never instantaneous. However, close enough is good enough, as long as the trajectory markers are showing that we got a Mun encounter pretty close to the one that we wanted. If you're not quite satisfied with your lunar intercept, you can still fine-tune it a bit by making small burns in various directions, but be careful not to overdo it. A counterburn can undo a goof, but you still don't want to be wasting fuel. Now we'll wait for you to be sucked up by the Mun's gravity, but since that takes around 6 hours, you'll probably want to use the warp here trick like we did use before, or a plain old time warp to shorten the wait. Remove the maneuver node and try warping to just inside the Mun's sphere of influence. Okay, node is removed. Now warp to just inside the Mun sphere of influence. That's going to be a little difficult there. Just inside, so I'm guessing the Mun sphere of influence is the purple line, and the blue is our actual orbit. Just inside the Mun, so just inside the purple. Warp here. Alright. Warp is... Okay, you're now inside the Mun sphere of influence, and Mun's is the only gravity affecting the motion of your ship. But you're on an escape trajectory relative to the Mun, which means that you're moving too quickly to orbit the Mun. If we didn't do anything, you'd whiz on past it and escape. You'll need to slow below escape velocity, burn retrograde at periapsis in order to be captured and insert into the lunar orbit. Remember the Orbit 101 tutorial, it's best to change your apoapsis at periapsis, and capturing is effectively changing your apoapsis from something far beyond Mun's sphere of influence to a height that never leaves Mun's sphere of influence. So we perform that maneuver at periapsis. If your periapsis is hiding under the Mun's surface, that means you will crash unless you do something. You can fix this by creating a maneuver about halfway to the Mun, or even earlier, and then adjust either slider of the blue handles on the radio to shift the periapsis to the altitude that you want it to be. Execute that maneuver if necessary, and we will continue. Okay. Let's say right there, add maneuver. Okay. We gotta switch this down to Oh, it's not good. We gotta switch it down to orbit the one here. Well, this is not okay. Now we gotta go to the other option here. It's not switching properly. Let me try and make a new node. When it turns purple, that's probably the right way. Well, this is all out of alignment. It wasn't this bad when I first did it. We gotta ship the periapsis halfway to the moon or even earlier. Okay. How about right there? Okay, that looks a little better. That looks like it's in one orbit. Oh yeah, there we go. That's how we want it right there. The tilt doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's what we wanted. Now we got it. Now we got 15 minutes till the next burn. We're using a maneuver node again to perform the capture burn and insert the into lunar orbit. Add a node at periapsis. Once you've started to execute your capture burn and your velocity is a bit lower than escape, you have a reasonable lunar apoapsis and therefore in orbit and unlikely to escape by errant thruster. We'll proceed. Gotta change the node's maneuver to change the orbit eccentricity to 0.8. Wow, that's not gonna be good. I don't know, even though that's gonna crash into it. Oh crap, had it. Alright. See if we can keep the eccentricity right and switch it to a proper orbit. Okay, that looks alright, I suppose. Okay. We are too close. Why is this like out here? What is this? The Mun escape. Okay, so we've got to go super close. Dang, this is annoying. Add maneuver. Okay, now let's get everything situated. Dang, come on. I think we ruined it. I can't get to orbiting the moon properly. That's not gonna work. Alright. There, how does that look? I don't know what I'm doing. Add maneuver. Okay. It's not catching orbit. We once you started to execute your capture burn and your velocity is that we have a reasonable maneuver. I don't know, I gotta start all over again. Dang it. Can't revert flight. I have trouble reading today. Dang it. It's not going as planned. Okay, add a maneuver to leave orbit. Alright, and head to the moon. I got it. There we go. Move the ball to the blue target reticle. The dark blue target reticle. Okay. Now we gotta warp to our maneuver point. Or somewhere beyond it, actually. Warp to next maneuver. This should be a good one. Now burn at T minus 40 seconds. Which is not very long. 3, 2, 1, burn. Burn a whole minute's worth of fuel. "25 seconds left. Ten seconds of burn left. 3, 2, 1. Burn's over. Good work, but you may have noticed your actual orbit does not do a counter burn. So I gotta warp to just inside the Mun sphere of influence. Okay, let's see the Mun escape. The Mun at year 1. The Mun periapsis. The Mun encounter. It's too far to warp. Well, it has to not be too far to warp because that's like where I have to go, dude. I'll warp to the Mun encounter and see how that works for us. It's supposed to be warping. Oh, 'cause there is no next maneuver. Cannot auto warp there. Well, let's just go with straight up time warp mode then. Screw it. Let's make sure we're still aimed in the proper direction here. That's enough warping for now. I like to make sure I'm aimed in the proper direction. Okay, now warp to the Mun sphere of influence. Cannot warp too far. We don't have a next maneuver to warp to. We're gonna have to do regular warp. All right. Still cannot warp there. Why not? What about right here? Can we warp here? No. No. Maybe this is an omen that we're gonna get it right this time. Can't warp faster than that. There we go. So why are we on the blue trail as opposed to the brown one? I wonder. We still can't warp there. Why does it look like there's two moons? Is this even the right planet? We lined it up pretty good this time, pretty well. Come on, taking forever. Almost there. Alright, just about to be inside the one sphere of influence. We're now in the one sphere of influence. And now we gotta perform an entry maneuver, and I suppose it should be on the blue line this time. Add maneuver. we got it looped around pretty well. See if we can straighten it out. Ain't got too much time there. There we go, got it nice and tight. We got it. Okay, now let's see. We got to get the eccentricity to 0.8. We have it on 0.8, but it looks like it's crashing. So let's try to move it to something else. There we go. Tighten her on up. Now we got to move her in a little bit of a direction here. Point 0.8, but we're pretty close to crashing into it. That's too close as well. Okay, well, let's just try to get new node this time. Add maneuver. Okay. Oh, that's looking pretty good right there. Nowhere near 0.8 though. We cannot get 0.8. It's not gonna work. Let's try to move the node back. It's too close. Let's move it to where we got to be rushed. Maneuver. Okay. There we go. That's looking good. There we go. We're at point 8 on this dimension. At point 8 on this dimension. 0.79. Let's see if we can do it at this right here. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing really, but let's do it again. Third time's the charm. Actually, let's try to go far out here, like at the periapsis. They're always talking about make plans at the periapsis, so let's see how that works. Okay, there we go. Still only 0.6 though. Okay. Yeah, we're at point 0.8. Pretty close to crashing, but we can do it. That's still point 0.8. Still in the Mun's orbit too. Okay, we're at point 0.8. So I guess let's do it. Head to it and warp to maneuver. Warp to next maneuver. Pay attention to our burn time. So we got burn at T minus 15 seconds for 30 seconds. The time away from you are away from your node, you should burn it half your burn time. So if we got a burn time of 30 seconds, you have it. Okay, was half it at 15. So that would make it T minus 15. Finally gonna get into orbit here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Burn. Alright. It's a long burn, but it doesn't look like it's working though. Let's keep burning. Burn, baby, burn. I don't know, we messed up somehow. What end scenario? Let's just go to the second one. I think I've learned as much as I want to learn from that. To the Moon, Part 2. Welcome to the Moon, Part 2. In this tutorial, we're going to land this vessel on the Moon. Into the Moon, Part 1, you brought this vessel, along with its transfer stage, to low lunar orbit. Between the tutorials, that transfer stage was decoupled, so now you're down to just the land and return stage. When you're ready to begin, we'll review the flight plan. Your flight plan to get to the surface safely will be as follows. Execute a maneuver at low throttle, warp to the new periapsis, Burn retrograde at medium throttle, reducing speed and altitude until you are only 1.5 kilometers above the surface. Descend at a measured pace, 1 meter per second of speed per 10 meter of altitude remaining. Land softly on the Moon's surface. You'll notice that I've set up a maneuver node for you. This will be your descent orbit insertion burn. It's a burn that will insert you into a decent orbit that almost, but not quite, touches the Moon's surface. Go to the map view, use the radio menu. When it's time to hit zero, then to execute the burn. When done, remove the node. Do this at low throttle so you have better control, since the burn would only take a single second of throttle. Warp to the maneuver node. Warp to the next maneuver. Now, when it's time to hit zero, execute the burn. What's the it's time to? Where is that at? I don't see anything that says time to. So you said when it says node and T minus 38, and then a burn time of 1 second. So we gotta wait till it hits zero. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Burn. I burned. How come it's not done? Oops, I decoupled something. What a terrible tutorial, man. I'm done with the tutorials. We're just gonna start doing a bunch of basic missions, I guess. Screw it. Your boy Super. Yeah. It's not a very good tutorial. So we gotta start out building a rocket at the vehicle assembly building. We're just gonna do like a goo project. We got a capsule here. Pop that down. Now we need, what is it? Solid fuel boost. See, so we have so few things that it should be pretty easy. We do some mystery goo experiments. A parachute that goes on top. I remember that. We got engines. Solid fuel burst booster. That's the only engine we got. We're gonna need fuel and couplers. We don't have any couplers. What about fuel? Don't have any fuel tanks, so this must be an all-in-one. No. Save crap. Oh, we forgot the mystery experiments. We're gonna put one. Let's put it onto radio 3. Uh, Square on the parachute, put it at maximum pressure, so we got plenty of time. Square on the engine, that looks good. Command module, looks good. think we'll call that a rocket. I'm gonna call it Super Goo 1. Now, choose a launch site, launch pad, okay. We can't launch yet though. First mission. Oh crap. Why is the parachute out? That did not go well. At least we're getting science. We need the other ones before we freaking land. One more. Why did that not go as expected? Recover vessel. Alright, we got some science points going. Completed the first contract. 18 science. Got $74,000. 1 XP gained. Okay. Engineering, or let's not do that until we can get a better launch from this thing. Okay, so we can add something for aerodynamics. Oops. Put that radial 4. Plop those on there. Got the pod, got no tanks, got that one engine. Structure, no coupling, no payload, no aerodynamics, got that. Got the parachute. Now let's check this parachute. I don't know why that didn't work properly. Deploy. Close. Okay, close it. We can put some more of those on there. Command pod. Let's go with the engine. Let's put that on a thrust limiter of 75%. Now, save craft. Launch. Now, turn SAS on. Okay, maybe that was the problem. I didn't turn SAS on. Add stage and move the engine to stage. So it starts at, yeah, this would be the correct spot, I think. Now let's go ahead and launch. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Gotta have that SAS turned on if you want to get things done. Let's check our goo pods. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Can we do that? I don't think we can zoom in, which is terrible. It's insanely difficult to do these things without zooming in. Very little science from those now. That parachute needs to go. We destroyed him, man. That parachute's not going. There we go. Okay, I was getting worried. Awesome, awesome. Now that was our first successful flight. Only got very little science from the goo though. So what we got underneath there, I don't know what that says. Cover vessel. Alright, that was not too bad, not too bad. Point 0.8 science, 0.1 science. 22 science total. $102,000. 17 reputation, no XP gain. Alright, we're doing good. Now let's see if we can find some science. Have to be research and development, but I want to do more science experiments. I don't want engineering or basic rocketry. New parts, science archives right here. Okay, well, I don't want that. Welcome to the tracking station. Hi again. Okay, I got it. How do I leave here? Gilly, gilly, gilly. How do I leave here? Okay, let's leave tracking station. There we go. All available contracts. Take a crew report in flight above 1900,000 meters. Completed. Okay, so I want to get new science experiments, but it looks like you can't choose those on your own. What do we got? What is this? Looks like Wi-Fi. I don't know. Controls, contracts again. The VAB. So we've actually got to go to research and development if we want to proceed any further. Let's go to research and development then. Let's unlock. We get three parts for this. It looks like an engine, a fuel, and another type of fuel. We can research it for 5 science. Boom. And we got engineering 101. Looks like we get a couplers, couple couplers, some weird pointy things for 5 science. Boom. Let's go. Now we got survivability. Like 15 science cannot afford it. Stability cannot afford it. So we got some new parts. Now we can go to the VAB and see our new parts. We got some engines. We got the swivel, the hammer, solid fuel booster. We already had the flea. We've got it. Some coupling now. And science. Any more science? That's what I want. We did get one more science, and we got a communitron, an antenna, and another antenna. In science, we got a hot thermometer, parachute, new craft. Well, that's it. This was your boy Super. We just completed our first mission in Kerbal Space Program. Hope you enjoyed it, and it would help me out a lot if you could like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode.